we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic. Endow members of Parliament and ministers of state with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of government, this land and people may be well and truly served, and their good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, a country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving, a country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people, that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honorable members, we'll take item 5. Item 5, a formal communication by the Speaker. Honorable members, when we commenced this meeting on the 21st of October 2025, I had cause to remind members about the need for comportment and my intention to ensure strict compliance with the 1992 Constitution and the standing orders of Parliament. While honorable members are granted severe and several privileges and immunities, which serve as procedural guards, in fact, safeguards. These are intended to assist members to undertake their duties and not expected to be a basis for members to be shielded from the effect of alleged unlawful actions. The report of attacks on a team from the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, a task force which we all know has been established to combat illegal mining activities in the country, is most worrying. Also worrying is the fact that the attack was allegedly incited by one of our own, the Member of Parliament for Asutifi North constituency, Honorable Ebenezer Kwekuado, who further ropes in a senior member of this House, Honorable Collins Dauda. While I'm yet to be fully briefed on the matter, I want to take this opportunity to condemn in no uncertain terms the attack on the team of security officers who have been assigned to help deal with the menace of Galamsey, which has to be dealt with robustly. Nobody has denied the attack, and we must all condemn that attack. The people of Ghana look to this house as a beacon of hope. And it is our collective duty to set a standard that reflects the values of our great nation. I want once again to take the opportunity of this formal communication to remind all of you that our actions and inactions carry immense power, effect, and impact on Ghanaians and the world at large. I have therefore instructed the Office of the Clerk and the Legal Services Office to provide all the needed support to the investigation by the Ghana Police Service within the framework of the 1992 Constitution, the laws of this country, and the standing orders of the House. I am made to understand that the member has voluntarily submitted himself to the Criminal Investigation Department of Ghana Police to assist in the investigation, as many members have done in other cases under investigation. In fact, there are so many members of parliament that are under investigation, and my office has never shielded any member of parliament, and many have volunteered themselves without coming through my office. And so please, let it not be said anywhere that members of parliament are being shielded from the rule of law. Not at all. I have the copies and the list of the members involved. So while I commend this action of the member, I want to urge the Ghana Police Service to ensure that at all material times, the privileges and immunities of members, especially when the House is in session, are adhered to. It's for good reason that even if you are in the position to deal with a law enforcement officer, you cannot do that because that law enforcement officer represents the law and the country. And if you attempt to resist or even to lay hands on that officer, you are dealt with ruthlessly. So they also have privileges and immunities. So it is for members of parliament too. But this is not to shield any member from the full impact of the rule of law. And I want it to be made clear once more that these privileges are not absolute. They must be exercised responsibly and in accordance with the laws of the land. I assure all Ghanaians, in particular the security agencies, of the full cooperation of Parliament in this investigation and all other pending investigations involving members of Parliament. With this, I thank you for your attention. Since it touches on members of Parliament, and the leaders of the members are here. If you have anything to say, say it now. Starting with the minority leader.
Speaker, let me thank you for the space to add a few words to what you have just said. Mr. Speaker, indeed, democracy provides that the actors must have an opportunity to politic, do politics, share ideas, and have their views, disagree and agree. It is, however, part of democracy also for the core issues of national discourse to be agreed upon by the active stakeholders in this process. Mr. Speaker, the matter you've just raised, Galamsey, is one thing that, for the want of a better word, I must say that we as political leaders, active stakeholders of this democracy, have failed. And I say so without mincing words. We must, as political actors, know that there are matters that we have to agree upon and nip it in the bud. My recent recollection of this matter dates me back to 2015 as a young member of the Finance Committee. Honorable Setekwe, Minister of Finance, as he then was, appeared before us and lamented how Galamsey was affecting cocoa production. But did the nation listen to him? Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo put his presidency on the line. Don't go there. You may have to listen. This is an important matter. This is how committed the president was on this matter. But again, we, as the actors, were looking at the political convenience and the gains. That is why we are where we are. We are where we are. I was once upon a time the chair of Ghana Water. I saw data for myself, how the country was losing money heavily to treat water because of Galamsey. It is getting worse. Civil society is talking. Organized labor is talking. Religious leaders are talking. But they know that in us is a vested authority, the people's representatives. Mr. Speaker, can we, as political leaders, for once, agree to stay the partisan approach on this matter and deal with it and let our citizens know that this is a matter that affects the country and our own livelihoods? Perhaps the medical practitioners are not sharing with us the revealing reports in the various hospitals enough. So it's like business as usual. Mr. Speaker, I would wait for another day where we would discuss this matter in detail. But I would, by way of conclusion, say that the issue of Galamsey calls for action, collective, not an NDC MPP affair, but a Ghana affair, so that it doesn't become like who you go to the area the people are mining, and then you say, oh, because you may lose election, you don't want to talk about it, or they will even push you to be lawless. all in the interest of votes that would end up in a coffin. Do we want to be burying people every weekend and all? Mr. Speaker, let me leave the rest for the leader of the House to put out for the records, and pray that that time will come for us to have a full discussion on this matter and send a strong message to the nation that enough is enough with the partisan approach on this Galamsey matter. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the treasure space.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I listened to you carefully, and I thought what I heard was a formal communication on the question of the privileges of members of Parliament. And I am hoping that our brief comments would focus on the question of privileges. I think what I heard you say is that you will not shield any member of this House when they are alleged to have committed offenses and the law enforcement agencies are seeking to investigate and establish whether indeed a crime has been committed for the purposes of being prosecuted or held accountable in any other form, shape, or manner. And you zeroed in on the specific instance of the alleged attack on the anti-Galamsey task force. We all heard in the media that there was an attack on an anti-Galamsey task force in Asutifi South, and I later got some indication that a member on this side of the House is alleged to have instigated some community members to resist the work of the task force. Mr. Speaker, let me indicate that yesterday I got a call from the Minister for the Interior, Honorable Muntaka, that the IGP needed the member for interrogation. I invited the member, he came to my office, and I was trying to reach Muntaka, I couldn't reach him, so ultimately I had to ask the member to go. If I reach Muntaka, I will call him back. Subsequently, Honorable Muntaka called me back. He was in a meeting when I was calling him. And I told him that I had invited the MP. He was ready to come see whoever he should see. But because we did not hear from him, I had dismissed him. So we scheduled that this morning, the member should be sent to the CID headquarters to meet with one of the deputy CID directors for processing. And so this morning, he went with our majority chief whip and his lawyer. They received him at CID headquarters, took him through the processes, and I received a call not quite long ago that he has been taken to court, and as we speak, he is actually in court being arraigned. And so let me also indicate that as members of Parliament, we do not consider ourselves being above the law, that we are always ready to be held accountable for our actions and inactions. We passed the law establishing the law enforcement agencies. We approve the appropriations to finance them to carry out these assignments that we have assigned them. And we pass the laws defining the crimes, and also we invite them to this House, and we often try to hold them accountable for the extent to which they are enforcing the law. So we as members of parliament will not in any way, I believe, go out of our way deliberately to hamper the law enforcement agencies in the discharge of their duties. And I believe, I speak for all my colleagues, that at any time when any of us is alleged to have committed an offense, we will own up and we will be ready to defend ourselves and establish our innocence. And so, Mr. Speaker, just to assure you that MPs will do well to conduct themselves and Mr. Speaker, we will not be calling on you to shield us in any way. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, what I know is that the honorable member has flatly denied the allegations made of he instigating some community members against the law enforcement agencies, the military and the police. And I also got a call from the senior member that you alluded to, Honorable Collins Dauda. He called me from South Africa, and indeed he was very surprised because it happened in his constituency, and he was very surprised about the report that the media has put out there about what really happened. He was also of the firm belief that the report that he received is consistent with the claims being made by the Honorable Member of Parliament that he never instigated members of the communities against the law enforcement agencies. Be that as it may, he's handed himself over to the police, he's been taken to court, and Mr. Speaker, we are ready to go through all the legal processes. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, what I did was a formal communication by me on a reported attack on a team of National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat. It is not a formal communication on privileges and immunities. That was just in passing that I mentioned privileges and immunities. But as I said, those are not absolute. Honorable members, they are being investigated. They've not been convicted. And so we just want to erase the impression or perception that members are always being shielded from the due process of the law. You all know that we've never done that. It's just that because you hold some positions, just like the police, that's why I refer to the police too. That's why you refer to even the judiciary. They all enjoy some of these protections by the law. So the fact that you enjoy a protection doesn't mean you are above the law. That's just what I want to expatiate on and clarify, so that we don't all go under that cloud that the Speaker is always protecting members of Parliament from the due process of the law. I want to thank leaders for their comments, and then we proceed on to item 6. But before we do that, let me acknowledge the presence of our visitors. We have visitors from 3 institutions. The first is from Abra Asebu Kwamankese. There are 60 in number, and they come from the Abakrempa Senior High Technical School. They are led by the Assistant Head of Academics, Mr. Michael Kwajo Edua. Please, honorable members, you can see them at the public gallery on the left side of the speaker. And on your behalf, I want to warmly welcome them to the House and to thank them for taking their time to come and see what we do here. And I believe they will also learn a bit from the visit, in spite of their very tender ages. This is one of the processes we set in place. It's in motion to capture them young, so that in future, as I keep on saying, they will perform better than this. So you are most welcome. You may now resume your seats. The second group is from the Heritage Christian University, and they are coming from Amasaman, 13 in number. They are led by the Speaker of the SRC group. I told you people I have colleagues all over the country. So today one is here. He's the Speaker of the SRC group. And so you see the fire is catching on. So many areas are forming parliaments and having speakers. And it's something that you should all encourage and support. The leader is Mr. Hope Huze, and they are also at the left side of the speaker. You are most welcome, and this is your house. Anytime you get the opportunity, you can even come as an individual, not as a group, so that together we share the commitment to make sure that democracy is entrenched in our system of governance. You are most welcome. You may resume your seat. The third group is from the Ghana National Association of Teachers. Those who made it possible for us to be here, the teachers. That is the father of all professions. And I know you treasure them very much. There are 47 in number, and they are from the Kwabre East constituency. The leader of the group, Mr. Richard Ampedu, is the one who has led